Shantell Richardson is the co-founder of TrimKnowtions, LLC, a premier agency providing consultation for designers seeking the best resources in exceptional fashion trim. Shantell's fashion industry experiences of having once overseen manufacturing factories in India to consulting designer brands on luxury European textiles have created her desire to see New York City once again become the center of fashion innovation. Shantell studied at the Fashion Institute of Technology, my alma mater, and holds a BA in English and Spanish from Tufts University. She began her fashion career as a stylist and assistant designer at Nika, New York. Am I saying that correctly?
Nika.
Nika, New York, where she later became their production manager, which found her at their production facility in India for 6 months. In 2009, Shantell launched her own line, a luxury women's wear brand named Shantell. Shantell.
Yeah, it was my fancy alter ego.
Oh, I love it. Shantell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She showed in New York Fashion Week 4 years in a row, styling celebrities such as Raven Simone in her collection. While simultaneously holding down a full-time position as the production manager for a New York City-based trim company, which led to the launch of her own trim company as the co-founder of Notion Trims LLC, which happened in 2015. So for 5 years she's been running this brand, which is amazing.
Yeah.
She's helped generate well over $2 million in revenue since its inception and has some of our favorite fashion brands as her clients. Welcome to the show, Shantell.
Thank you.
I'm so good to have you.
That was a great summary. I'm like, she got it all.
Girl, you have such a breadth of experiences. So going from all your websites and compounding and making it nice and succinct was a chore, but here we are.
Thank you. That was really some beautiful work. Honestly, I could have said it better. You really covered like every basis. So
Awesome.
thank you for having me. I'm so excited
absolutely.
to be here in this space.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything
Oh,
you're doing.
thank you. And same to you. Same to you.
Thank you, darling.
So, where did your love for fashion begin?
So I think it's kind of just been in my family.
Okay.
My grandmother was always very fashionable. She had her wigs and her hats, and my mom is one of 3 daughters. So they all made their clothing when they went out.
Wow.
They just would get one pattern and then make different
Versions
of it, yeah, and go out to like parties and stuff like that. So they always kind of were just always sewing, and so my mom, even from a young age, I definitely was very conscious of how the care that she took when she was dressing me, like down to my little like ruffled socks, and even in matching outfits with her and stuff like that. I vividly remember like having a yellow outfit that matched her exact same outfit.
I love it. Were you the only daughter?
I was the only girl in the family, so like my male cousins.
That was my life. Yes, all I have brothers and boy cousins on my mom's
So
side.
I probably got like all the girl, charms and stuff like that. So,
Yes.
but I was a tomboy as well, so
Got it.
there's that.
Yeah,
But,
no, it's funny because to have that juxtaposition where you're the only girl, so everyone like pours into you as the girl, but you're surrounded by boys, so you do get to be a rough and tumble boy. So I think,
football.
exactly,
Clothing,
all that, and so you get to be. I think when you grow up, you get to be the perfect woman. I think I feel that way.
I'll take it.
Because I feel like I relate better to men mostly because I understand that I don't always agree with them, but I understand them. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're interesting, but
but like there was that, and my grandmother, she would teach me how to crochet.
Same. Did we have the same life? My grandma taught me to crochet.
She in different dimensions.
Mm.
So yeah, she taught me how to crochet. I remember getting like little baby dolls and doing like some hand sewing, and then also in school we had like home economics, and that's where I really started like embroidering.
Oh wow, you went further than
that
me.
kind of thing. Yeah, I won like a little contest. It was for a pillow that said "I love to do my thing."
Nice.
I won an umbrella and $20.
What was this in 7th grade?
7th grade, and it was like a citywide contest, and my teacher was like this little Russian woman, and she was so cute, like this high.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe that she picked out a pattern that was like "I love to do my thing," but it was all like hearts and flowers.
So cute. So she encouraged you.
Yeah, she did. And I think she just to did that. She took care to not put something else on it. Like she knew it was like kind of like a little sassy little girl.
Right. She knew that it was something that would appeal to you. She didn't try to dumb down the experience.
So I really do enjoy that part. So I think that's probably where it started, and then I also just kept making clothes for myself as I was trying to become a singer.
That's right, because you're part of the chorus now as well. So multi-talented.
I think that was also just having clothes to wear to performances. I was just like, okay, I'll make a little jacket, or I'll make something just special that would make me feel confident while I was performing.
That's so important. Yeah. So I know that you studied English and Spanish in college. So I'm assuming when you were in high school, you went off to college, you weren't first considering fashion design as an option as a career?
No, not at all. I thought I was going to go into journalism, so hence the English, major. And then Spanish, I just always had a love for Spanish, and I went and like visited. I did a exchange program in Spain and things like that. And so I just always loved languages and how like they reflect, our different communities and cultures. And it's a really interesting way to get like a deep dive and see someone else's point of view, because there's certain words that exist in one language that don't
translate.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went, definitely thought I was going to go into writing. But I do see fashion as kind of like a different way of communicating.
Absolutely. Totally. Without even saying a word.
Right. So one of my collections, I think it was a 2013 collection, the last one I did, and showed, it basically had all these Rorschach prints up and down. So the Rorschach was used as like a psychiatric test back in the day. They don't use it anymore, but you still see the imagery. So it looks like these ink blots.
That's what that's called. Okay.
Yeah, so they're called Rorschach. So they were basically used to kind of like interpret your mental state at one point. But my point of using them on my clothing was to say, to basically give an example of how we communicate with our clothing. So the Rorschach asks, like, what do you see? And so you then say what you see. But when we present ourselves every day, whether I'm wearing a scarf or a necklace or whatever else have you, I'm saying to someone, this is what I want you to see. So when they see me, they're already answering that question for themselves. Yeah, we're making assumptions. Even on your worst day or a day that you haven't put that much effort, there's still something you're communicating to people as they see you.
Correct.
So,
absolutely.
So yeah,
that's really important to think about too. So then, at what point did fashion become your career choice?
So I was in publishing in 2003 at it's called Book of the Month Club, and I had an editor who kind of like mentored me through it. Her name was Rita Powers, and I just thought she was an amazing woman. And she stopped me one day. She was like, let's set out a 5-year plan for yourself. Okay, it's okay. And she goes, I want you to go home and think about like what your true passion is. She goes, what do you fall asleep with in your bed at night?
What made her do that?
I think we were just like talking. I was young. I was only 21, 22 at the time. Okay. So I think, just day in, day out.
Just a thing. That relationship.
And so she asked me, what do you fall asleep with in your bed at night? And I said, I came back and I was like, I fall asleep with like beads and fabric, which was true. That's all I used to just have in my bed, just doing weird stuff with them. And, just like trying to piece together little bracelets or whatever. And so I came back and she was like, well, think about that. And so I made a 5-year plan. I said I wanted to be a stylist. And then also go into like a deeper fashion career, but that was like where
you did all that.
I did do all that. So I always credit her with giving me that question, because had she not, I don't think I would have sat down and really listened to that part.
You would have just continued to do that as a hobby.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I would have sat down and said, you know what, like this is the time now where I said I'm young enough where I can make this like career shift, even if I have a degree in English. It doesn't mean that I have it. It's my fallback, whatever, or I can still use it.
Right.
But I don't think if she had asked me that question, I would necessarily have thought like, this is the time to really try to
make a change.
Yeah, listen to what my passion is.
Wow. And so I know that what you did to make the change is you went to the continuing ed program at FIT.
Yes.
And studied apparel design.
I studied apparel design just so I could get the language down, and I also did a sewing course or two. I was also part of the Garment Industrial Development Corporation.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
I know that.
Yeah, a New York program
Yep.
that it's free.
And supportive of emerging designers.
Mhm.
I went to a few of their workshops, even though I was from Jersey,
Mhm.
because we just didn't have anything like that in
Yeah.
Jersey. We still don't.
I don't think a lot of people know about it, but
Mm.
like it was really instrumental in just like really getting an understanding of like pattern making and knowing the basics of it. Like I feel like I can do, you know, enough of that to like get by and stuff. And if you continue and pursue it, then you know, sky's the limit. So it's a really great way to just have a free resource.
Right.
And it was also really important for a lot of like immigrants that were coming
Yeah.
in. They were
And
able to get-
networking, just building relationships.
So I thought that was great that they were able to like get another space to like learn some hard skills to start their lives.
Yes.
As well. So.
Right, without necessarily having to pay for classes at
Mhm,
MIT or
mhm,
Parsons.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you are the only person I know that owns a trim company. You know, like just working in New York City as a designer for years, going in and out of trim retail spaces like M&J.
Yeah.
So when I think of you, I think of that space, that M&J experience, and this is the type of company that you're running. I know it's not a retail space, though.
Yeah.
You work B2B, strictly
Yeah, we
business
do
to
wholesale.
business.
Yeah, we do wholesale, but it's a little different. Basically, I think what we do is a lot more customer service. I say we because I have a co-owner.
A co-owner,
Thank you.
yes.
It's Terina.
Yes.
She's amazing. She's my better half. I must say, she definitely is my better half. So what we do, is wholesale. So it's more like customer service based, so you can really get into the nuts and bolts. So, for example, you know, these are some of the terms we have. If someone said, "Hey, I want this flower," like right now it's individual, but we want it
As
like
one
this. Yeah,
garment
we could
type of-
help them like navigate how to develop that, like what the end use, what color do you want, what size, what material, like what's really going to work with the garment. Will it work well on stretch, or do you need something that?
And then you find the manufacturer for them as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you can walk us through that process. I call you as a designer with my line of handbags, and I fell in love with this trim that was maybe, I don't know, in a catalog or on your website, and I know though I want this trim to kind of have this trim attached to it. Like,
Okay.
how do I get that accomplished?
So basically, we would start, like normally our clients, either we go to them or they come to us, and we
And when you say us, you're in Brooklyn.
we're in Manhattan.
You're
Our
in
office
Manhattan.
is right in the heart of the garment center, so in Times Square,
perfect.
we're like in,
The thick of it.
yeah, we're in the eye of it, like
Yes.
honestly, it's like, so it's a great location. And we
Absolutely.
appreciate having it. So basically, they would come to our office, or we would go to them with, where we have like our whole showroom that has like collections from Italy, Greece, Asia, India. I think that covers it, right?
Wow.
So we have all of our collections there that go across a range of trims. So sometimes it might be a running trim like this, or sometimes it'll be an applique like this, and we also have zippers and branding material.
Okay.
So depending on what you need, you said you need handbags. I was like, okay, great. You like this? I would say, okay, yes, we can do something like this. Like, is it going to be a heavy handbag? I would recommend it only be like a lightweight handbag due to like the strength of this actual trim. or something
Got
like
it.
that. So I would, you know, hear your needs and try to get you to tell me what your needs are, like how you want the handbag to be, what kind of length, is it going to be 2 straps, is it going to be 1, like whatever it's going to be, so we can do like the product development part of it.
Yeah.
Because although we're handling the manufacturing a lot of times, we wouldn't want to just say, oh, just tell us what you want and make whatever you want.
Because it may not be what you
it might
actually
be
need.
exactly
What
it
you
may not be
need and
right.
what you want aren't always the
So,
same thing.
yeah, so that is the fine balance, is why I say it's more of like a customer service. That's really the
It's very
gist of what we do.
individual. It's very
Yeah.
custom.
Yeah, because we have to be able to say, you know, this is from our experience. I think people come to us and they rely on our expertise of having seen trends for all these years and
Right.
the
And
different
trim
uses.
from all over the world.
Yeah, and the different uses, so.
You're the expert. We trust you. Yeah.
We try to be trim, there's so many variables in the trim as well, so it's kind of just thinking of what are all the things that could go wrong, and let's make sure they don't go wrong.
Got it.
In a sense, with how you want to use it, because, you know, you can be creative, but a lot of times, like, even if you're, you know, on your sewing machine, or the creativity comes from like the mistakes that might happen. You're like,
Right.
oh, wait, that might not work.
Exactly, but I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Let me figure out how to make it work.
Right.
Like that. So we try to do that. So we'll say we set on the design, you want to attach these flowers to the trim, we give you a couple of samples, back and forth, you give us feedback on it. You say, this is right, I want the flowers further apart, close together, things like that. And then once that's all set and done, a designer will either order what they need right away, or it will be on your salesman sample. So you go out to your buyers, and then you come back with all your orders and say, I got an order for 100 bags. And we'll be like, okay, well then we need 200 yards.
Got it.
So we'll make it and then ship it.
Amazing.
And then hopefully designers send us the picture of what
the finished product. Yeah.
A lot of times it just goes on, but we try to follow up and get.
It's funny because as a designer myself, I know that so often I make finished products, I send it out to my clients, and I'm like, don't forget to send me a picture. I need pictures. Of course I have the product itself, but I want pictures of it in use. I want pictures of you wearing it. People always forget that part.
Luckily for us, we've worked with some pretty good brands, like we've done Alexander Wang, LaQuan Smith.
Wow, big dogs.
So we get to see it on the runway, but it's still just like following up, and like I mentioned, we do Lily Pulitzer, so
amazing.
Philly or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So we get to see some of it, but we have to search for it.
Got it. So I'm curious about, because I wanted to talk a little bit about how you made the transition from, you went to school, you became a stylist. Then for that company, you became their production manager. And then from there, you wound up in India working with the factories. When you came back, walk me through.
So when I came back, that company, they were very, very specific in their product. So at that time, it was when they like big boho Indian aesthetic skirts were out. So it was like the pattern, the ombre, the beading, and that was what they based a lot of their success on. So when I came back, the company wasn't doing that great. So yeah, I had to leave. And then I found like another job working in a trimming company.
So did you fall in love with trim at that position?
Oh,
no.
No.
Because you're so passionate about your work.
No, I think what it was that company partnered with another company which was selling fabric wholesale. So fabric from like Japan, Australia, Italy, some really wonderful places. And during my interview process, I heard their client list, and I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that they were partners, I was like, this could be a really good way to be an in, because I didn't know anything about that side of the business yet.
Right.
I didn't know about like where to go and get fabric from specifically. I knew very specifically where my company was getting it from, but since they were manufacturing in India, it was a little different. So knowing like a New York-based agency that had all the resources was really attractive. And then at that time, I had already started considering doing my own collection. So I think that was what drew me to the company.
Because you knew you could learn so much from
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just felt like, and even now when people come to our office, we still partner with that same company.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so people kind of consider it one-stop shopping. They come in, they see fabric, and they're like, oh, what's this TrimKnowtions place that you have? And so we introduce ourselves, and it's just like a very nice community of sharing clients and sharing resources. So.
And because you have a background as a designer, you understand both sides. You know what we need and the strength that we need in our trim. You know what I mean? You know that we need the strap to actually stay on the shoulder. But you also know what can be done. You know what I mean? You understand what actually goes into making that trim.
And so limitations for being a small designer. A lot of times.
Right. So are there big minimums to work with you?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. So we do both. We have clients that are, using 30 yards or 150 yards.
Wow.
And we have clients that are doing 5,000, 10,000 yards and stuff like that. And I mean, when we first started, we were getting orders for like 50,000 yards and things like that. So, but the industry is shifting a little bit, so it's more niche. But yeah, so I think we try to cater to
each
a range.
individual.
Yeah, because you never know. You want to grow with a company.
Right. They may start out and only need 30 yards, but
Right.
2 years from now, that may be 30,000
Yeah,
yards.
definitely. We've seen it happen. So
Yeah.
definitely, it's worth putting the investment in terms of time. And it's also, young people are coming with like great ideas.
Right, and it's just great to be with that.
Yeah, it keeps me on my toes.
Exactly.
Sure. It keeps me like thirsty about like learning about different things in the industry, like sustainability, and sustainability is big.
Really big, yeah.
But yeah.
How difficult was it for you to manage running your own line and working for another company, juggling the two?
That was really hard.
I can imagine.
I don't recommend.
Because you weren't running like your business as a side hustle. That was your full-time gig, and you had a full-time gig.
No, that was tough.
That's stressful.
Yeah, I definitely
Would recommend it?
I recommend it to a certain point.
Okay.
I think at some point you have to pull the trigger and just say, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna go full forward with one or the other, So at some point, I definitely felt like I looked like I was burning the candle at both ends. Like, I know, like, it was too much. My goddaughter came up to me once and was like, Auntie Shanty, she was like 6 at the time, and she goes, you're a workaholic.
Wow.
I was like, what? And she's like,
Out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah, she goes, you're always working. And I think for me, that signaled that I didn't want that to necessarily be my whole life.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to do my collection. Like, I loved it. I loved everything that came out of it. I still think the pieces are super classic.
Yeah.
My website is still there. I still do like once in a while custom things for people.
Okay.
And I feel like I will go back to it, but at some point I think you have to either commit fully to it or think, because it's too hard to do both. You will run yourself like ragged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so one of my last few questions is, you launched 2 fashion businesses, which was Shantell and obviously TrimKnowtions was your partner. Did you come from an entrepreneurial background?
No, it's funny. My dad's a truck driver and my mom's a nurse,
Okay.
so nothing really entrepreneurial about it. My granddad maybe had a little bit of the entrepreneurial spirit. He was the first Black man to move and own a multi-family building on his block.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I think that's an element of it, but I think that spirit of we can kind of do anything, like even my grandfather.
That fearlessness.
Yeah, my grandfather, even when he's like getting sicker, I told him about my clothing line. He's like, we used to go take those dresses and go around the stores and show them to people and get them. I was like, this was just, he didn't know anything about fashion, but this was just like his own advice. That's what I had started doing, is going on road trips and doing like little trips around Brooklyn, and even in Philly I did a couple road trips. So it was just really sweet to hear him say that. And my dad is like West Indian, so he thinks he can do like anything and everything. It's just a matter of learning it.
Yes.
You know? So it's just about, if you want to do it, you just have to learn and figure it out and keep pivoting until it hits the right
Trajectory.
Yeah.
I love it. So any advice you have for people who come into this industry with their mindset that I'm going to school to Parsons or to FIT, I'm going to become a fashion designer? I'm sure when you were taking those classes in continuing ed at FIT, you were doing it with the mindset that you were going to become a stylist or a designer, but you allowed your steps to, I want to say, be spiritually guided. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't so hard set on, this is what I'm going to do only. You allowed it to organically flow. Yeah,
internships are super important. I think just really getting that experience to see what you like, because you may just like, doing very administrative work. So it could be like entering tech pack information, as a design assistant, and I think,
or even a technical designer, which I did for years.
There you go. You did.
Yes. I was a footwear technical designer for many years.
Yes. Were you ever living in?
No, I was at Me Too Shoes. Okay. I was at Kelly, New York. I was at the Children's Plays.
That's the Children's Plays. That's a what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the internships would then open your mind to like what is available in fashion in terms of careers. Like there's so many different things around, especially now in the digital age too. There's like a digital stylist. There's social media persons that are needed. So I do think that my advice would be to try to get like experience
in like, all different realms.
Places.
Before you make a hard
before you say I want to be a designer.
Strictly.
Yeah. And if you do want to go out on your own, my best advice to to make all the mistakes on someone else's design. So if you want to be a designer, go and design for, you know,
For a job.
for these companies, whether it
And
be
build relationships
it
with
could be
suppliers.
contemporary, it could be corporate. I would say do both, so that way you can get the like severity that's in corporate in terms of like the regimen, and then if you partner with like a smaller brand, there's a little bit more leeway. You see the bigger picture in terms of like how that relates to finances, how that relates to PR, that kind of thing. So
with a smaller company, you get to do a lot of different things, or at least be surrounded by people doing a lot of different things. Whereas in a corporate environment, you just do the same thing all day, but you have a bigger budget, you get to be able to do more traveling, so there's definitely a benefit in doing
and you get
both.
the blueprint, you get the framework, you know, so
what it should look like.
You get that like routine. You need that's still important to know.
So
that
important.
It's a business still.
Right.
I think more and more people are coming to it knowing that like there's a creative part, but there's also the business side of it that's super important.
And you really skip that if you go straight from school to start your own brand.
Yeah, even
You skip that totally.
And I think most designers come in and they're like, this was nothing like I imagined it would be. They don't teach you in school that a lot of design is more about like fittings and meetings.
The boring stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like only like maybe 15% of it is creative.
It's that.
Yes. Wow. Well, we've learned so much about the trim company that you have and how it's important for a designer to have some understanding of what trim is and how it works with their collection. Can you let us know how a designer would contact you to work with you?
Sure, we're very accessible. Our website is TrimKnowtions.com. That's Trim, T-R-I-M, Notions, K-N-O-W-T-I.
Yes, I'll put that up in the air.
Okay. Okay, so this is my fun little DIY. I love earrings, so I think you might enjoy this little tutorial on how to make your own earrings using trim. So here we have this kind of 3-dot fringe trim that we have as part of our collection. It's just basically cotton. You see it's got a lovely fringe and it has a top border as well. So what we can do to start is basically, you know, if we need the earring, we need a pair. So we're gonna cut off 2, or if you want to do more, you can. You know, some of us has like funky 5 holes and stuff like that. You know, so but anyways, we're gonna do 2 as a standard right now. So we're cutting 2 of these little pieces off, and we're just separating the trim as we go along. And now we have 2 little pieces, right?
Yes.
So you can already see it's coming together. And if you wanted to, you could even like cut off the little side here to make it more of like a traditional look of an earring, where you just have like this one kind of like little loop, right? So that's the way I like to do it. Okay, sorry, obviously I'm like not cutting super neat, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job.
So it's got like a little eyelet there. And then, I mean, it can really be as simple as just taking your earring
Hook?
hook here, and just going through
Oh, so
and
simple.
pulling it through. And then here we go. Here, I'll even model.
Nice.
Terina, I'll model it for you.
I love it.
Funky one. And do a little zan.
I love. Oh, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
Okay, and then also what you can do now is what I've done is do like embroidery on it. It's really intense to do this much wording, but if you want to do a little heart or any kind of, you know, motif, you can definitely do that. I would recommend doing it before you cut it because it gives you the tension in like an embroidery hoop or just more to hold on to.
Right.
And as you can see, I've done that here. This one says, "We care," and I was getting to like a lot.
Oh, I love it. So great.
Yeah, so I doubled it. So I had like the black and white to do like a little shadow.
And that one, instead of being a hook,
Oh yes, this is just like a stud earring that I took and
poked it through.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite earrings. I lost the other one. So I did it and just poked it through, and now we got like a little backing and a little guy guy there.
It's
Putting your ears.
perfect.
Yeah, so something super simple. So yeah, you can do that with lace trims. You can even do it with like one of these little flower guys we
Oh,
have here.
absolutely.
You know, it's kind of a very easy and cost-efficient way to get new earrings and to zhuzh up your outfits. If you want to wear purple earrings with your purple outfit, you know, you don't have to feel like you're making a crazy investment. You can just use one.
Hey, brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Such a great job.
Yay.
Yay.